over there at Lou's Diner.
We'll hit you with something heavy at Lou's Diner. Peter Cadges of the Boston Phoenix, Cosmo Macero Jr. Associates. Peter goes with the sausage. Cosmo goes tried and true bacon, of course.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, what should we talk about today? Anything in the news? Oh, right. Oh, no. Eliot Spitzer, the governor of New York, the big reformer, the big I'll tell you how to live and what's right in this world, caught in a prostitution ring. Not just any prostitution ring, the Emperor's Club, Peter Cadges.
Well, someone else said this on television last night, but can a member of the Emperor's Club rule the Empire State?
Not for long, I have a feeling. The question is this. Is this more comedy, Cosmo, or more tragedy here?
More like a horror show, actually. Eliot Spitzer committed the ultimate political sin, and that is hypocrisy. He is the ultimate do-gooder, self-righteous, unforgiving, in the words of Republican Congressman Peter King from New York. And as ye reap, ye shall sow, and that's what's happening here. So he has no one to turn to. He literally has no friends, and maybe not even within his own household today. So
even Clinton had guys that would stand by him, but he's got no one.
America is an incredibly forgiving country, and the American people are willing to forgive many things, maybe even something like this, but not if you have conducted yourself in a way that gives no forgiveness to others, and that's really what Eliot Spitzer built his career on.
Well, he not only, I think the ultimate sin he might have committed is he got caught. This is just...
Yeah, it looks like he was doing this, well, if you read into it, like this had been going on for a while. It was the Valentine's Day Massacre. They caught him with the late...
Well, the dollar amount here is amazing. $4,000, and I think the $300 is a tip. Not a big tipper, less than 10%. But
we don't know that for a fact. You're talking about kicking a guy when he's down. You're calling him a bad tipper on top of everything else.
You could argue that this was just part of his economic stimulus program. But I'm. It
wasn't bad, actually. Even the guys over here at the diner are laughing at that one.
Look, it's only a matter of time before the New York tabloids, start attacking him in claiming that, hey, listen, this is besmirching the working girls of Washington, D.C., having to put a New Yorker on the train and send her down to Washington.
That leads me to my next point, which is that not only is there so much hypocrisy in this thing, but there's so much arrogance in this thing, Cosmo. He puts a woman, on a working lady, on a train and ships her down from New York to D.C., is wiring money and figures, but I'm Eliot Spitzer. Who's ever going to know?
I think what maybe one of the most outrageous things here is that there was no one close enough to him that he would listen to, who either said or who said and he listened to, that told him, you know what, you're the governor of New York. And by the way, you're also a pompous, arrogant jerk. You can't do this. Someone had to have told him that, or if they didn't, they really, really.
But that's the thing about Spitzer. If you said that to him, you were gone. I mean, he would not stay. He would not stand for that.
Listen, Cosmo said something to me as we were driving out here, and he said, "Do you know who George Fox was?" Now, George Fox was the name that Spitzer registered as.
Yeah.
Well, George Fox, it turns out, is a good friend, perhaps an ex-good friend, and a major campaign contributor. I mean, this is one of those stories that has so much granularity, so much texture. I mean, every way you turn, it's just tawdry and sleazy.
And we got a lot of information yesterday up front. Normally stuff leaks out slowly but surely. We got a ton here, but I think there's still a ton more coming.
Oh, well, listen, let's not forget there's going to be the headlines, there'll be the pictures. It's only a matter of time before the woman in question, the girl, is paraded before TV.
Here's the question, gentlemen. Now, we've all heard the numbers. You heard Peter talking about $4,300. When was the last time you spent $4,300 on anything?
I'm paying at my house. I can pay at my house. I paid at my house for that last year. I bought a new furnace. I buy a furnace, paint my house, get a new roof.
Well, he was getting warm.
I don't know, Cosmo. Furnaces, I don't know what kind of furnace. I don't know if 4,300 would talk about cover a furnace. I mean, the amount is amazing. To be honest with you, I don't know what I'd spend $4,300 on.
Well, one of the guys down at the counter says $4,300 for a prostitute. Gas isn't the only thing that's going up in cost these days. I mean, that figure is unbelievable. But again, doesn't that cut to the arrogance, which is he thinks, but I'm not just doing some cheap hooker. I mean, this woman's exclusive, and this is on the up and up. I mean, I think he thinks like that.
In orchestrating the transfer of someone across state lines for this purpose, he is now in the illustrious company, I believe, Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis. So there you have it. I believe he is, the Mann Act comes into play here. So it is tremendous arrogance, and not only is his own judgment gravely in question, but really the judgment and loyalty of his own people who should have put an end to this.
We got 1 minute left, fellas. 2 questions here. Number one, is there any way you can see that Eliot Spitzer survives this and stays on as governor for any length of time?
I don't, because he's going to be indicted, even if it's for a minor charge in New York. The federal charge would stick. I have a hard time seeing it. He won't resign right away, though, because he's got to be involved in some sort of legal negotiations with the authorities. But I don't see him surviving.
I agree with Peter. And again, when you have no one to turn to, when you have no support network because you have burned it through your career, what do?
Last question. Peter mentioned it may be indicted. There were reports that they were already working on the indictment yesterday. Is there any way he does jail time for this?
I really don't know. I don't know enough about how the law would work in this case. I think right now what he's doing is making sure that the legal implications are as limited as possible, and he's going to worry about his political career at some point.
Is there anything juicier, Peter, in all the world than the guy that gets to hand Eliot Spitzer the indictment papers?
No, I have a sneaky suspicion that champagne corks were popping on Wall Street.
I don't like the imagery there based on what we're talking about.
Ah.
Peter Cadges of the Phoenix Cosmo. You're giving me the look like that wasn't bad. Cosmo Macero of Eliot Associates. Enjoy your breakfast.